What if I told you that one of the most controversial leaders in modern history turned a desert nation into one of the richest countries in Africa? That he gave his people free healthcare, free education, and water in the middle of the Sahara? In today's video, we uncover the untold achievements of Muammar Gaddafi, the man who ruled Libya for over 4 decades and changed it forever. Whether you see him as a dictator or a revolutionary, one thing is undeniable: Gaddafi left a lasting mark on Libya and Africa. So, who was Muammar Gaddafi? Muammar Gaddafi came to power in 1969 at the age of 27, after leading a bloodless coup that overthrew King Idris I. A military officer inspired by Arab nationalism and the anti-colonial movements of the time, Gaddafi promised to return Libya's wealth to its people and break free from Western domination. He quickly set out to transform Libya into a new kind of state, one he called Jamahiriya, or a state ruled by masses. For the next 42 years, Gaddafi led Libya under a system he called a direct democracy, outlined in his Green Book. While his leadership style was often authoritarian, his policies transformed the country. Let's now explore 7 major achievements Gaddafi made before his fall. Number 1. Free healthcare and education. One of Gaddafi's biggest achievements was building a comprehensive welfare state. Under his rule, education was completely free, from primary school to university, even for those studying abroad. Libya's literacy rate rose dramatically from just 10% in 1969 to over 80% by the early 2000s. Healthcare was also free for all citizens, and Libya developed one of the best medical systems in North Africa. If a Libyan couldn't be treated locally, the government paid for treatment abroad. These were rare privileges in many parts of Africa and the Arab world at the time. Number 2. Improved living standards. Gaddafi channeled Libya's massive oil wealth into national development. Housing was considered a human right. Gaddafi once said, "The house is a basic need for both the individual and the family, therefore it should not be owned by others." Basic utilities like electricity, water, and fuel were heavily subsidized or free. New infrastructure, roads, airports, schools, and hospitals sprang up across the country. Libya had no external debt, and the national per capita became one of the highest in Africa. Libya, once a poor desert country, became a model of self-sufficiency. Number 3. The Great Man-Made River Project. This was Gaddafi's most ambitious and visionary project. The $25 billion project was designed to supply fresh water to Libya's arid cities by tapping into underground aquifers deep in the Sahara Desert. It became the largest irrigation project in the world, spanning thousands of kilometers of pipelines. It transformed parts of the desert into fertile farmland. It ensured a stable, free water supply for millions of Libyans. Despite being largely ignored by global media, it's considered one of the greatest engineering feats in Africa. Number 4. Champion of African unity. Gaddafi had big dreams, not just for Libya, but for the entire African continent. He proposed a United States of Africa with a single government, currency, and military. He contributed millions to the African Union, backed African banks, and promoted trade independence from the West. Gaddafi supported liberation movements in South Africa, Namibia, and beyond. He offered aid, scholarships, and infrastructure investments across dozens of African countries. He was a Pan-African hero, while at the same time, a threat to Western influence on the continent. Number 5. Nationalizing oil and economic independence. One of Gaddafi's earliest and most impactful moves was nationalizing Libya's oil. By taking control of the country's petroleum industry, he ensured oil profits went to Libyan people, not foreign corporations. These revenues were used to fund housing, education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Gaddafi also rejected the IMF and the World Bank, creating Libya's own sovereign wealth fund. He dreamed of a gold-backed African currency to replace the US dollar in African trade, a move that worried many Western powers. Number 6. Women empowerment. Although Libya remained culturally conservative, Gaddafi implemented several pro-women reforms. He promoted women's access to education, employment, and military training. He founded a female military unit known as the Amazonian Guard. Libyan women became doctors, lawyers, engineers, and even pilots under his regime. He once said, "Women, like men, are human beings, and they should also enjoy equal human rights." Number 7. Legacy and controversy. Of course, Gaddafi's achievements came with a dark side. Political dissent was not tolerated. Thousands of opponents were jailed, exiled, or unalived. In later years, protests against his rule led to the Libyan civil war in 2011, backed by NATO airstrikes. Gaddafi was eventually captured and unalived by rebel forces on October 20, 2011. Since his fall, Libya has struggled with instability, civil war, and competing governments, a far cry from the unity and progress many experienced under his rule. So how should we remember Muammar Gaddafi? Was he a brutal dictator, a revolutionary visionary, or maybe both? History is rarely black and white. What's clear is that Gaddafi reshaped Libya and left an impact far beyond its borders. From free education and water in the desert to bold dreams of African independence, his achievements are a part of history that deserves to be told. What do you think about Gaddafi's legacy? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into African history and global politics. See you on the next one.